companies know where they want to go. So normally they come with a vision, because the guy starting the company has a vision for the company. And sometimes they come with a mission, which is the main purpose for a company to exist. But having said this, sometimes companies just like what could make them go over the line. And this is where the issue of elements of strategic thinking comes in. So I'll share with you 5 elements of strategic thinking. The first element of strategic thinking is arena, the arena. In which area of the economy do you want to do your business? What is your marketplace? It could be geographical region, it could be the type of products and services you want to play in. It could be also to do with which technology do you want to use to drive your business. It could also be to do with which sorts of people do you need to work with in terms of professionals. So after the arena, the next strategic element of strategic thinking element, we go now to economic logic. Now, how do you want to make money? Which means, what is your revenue model? I know that you also have to consider the cost model, but it's good to know what is your revenue model and also the cost model. So cost planning and revenue planning. How do you want to make money? How will you cost? Will you go for the mass market, which means that you are going to more or less do what you call low margins but high volumes? Or do you want to go for a niche market and a high-end market, which, for example, that means that you are going to go for low volumes but very high margins? And generally, what are other ways on how you can make money? For example, in the bank, you can make money using what we call funded income versus non-funded income, and you must choose a good portfolio that makes you not to have too much of funded income, because that's very risky. Or you can actually go for less funded income, where you have more non-funded income, which is now less risky, making money through risky business models. So after the economic logic, of course, we talk about the issues of vehicles for growth, because every company would like to grow. I'm told that a definition of a handsome man is tall, black. So it means that if you can add a few inches to your company, that's good business for you. So every business wants to grow, because any business that is not growing is dying. Just like us human beings, when you stop growing, now you know that you are now starting to approach your sunset days where you are now dying. So you can grow by what means? You can grow through acquisitions, you can grow through joint ventures, you can grow through franchising, you can use all sorts of strategic alliances to grow. But the issue is not just vehicle for growth, because going somewhere you can use any vehicle you want to go. But you must choose what is your preferred vehicle for growth. Some companies are good in growing by acquisition, and some companies are good in growing by mergers. Some companies are good in by putting what they call greenfields and start a business. But you must know that sometimes if you succeeded in the previous year through acquisition, you may think acquisition is the only vehicle to grow, and then sometimes you may actually grow through franchising, but actually you just choose acquisition because it becomes like your way of doing things, but that could be wrong. The most important thing, choose rightly what is your most vehicle for growth. After the third strategic element of thinking, now we go to the fourth one, which talk about differentiators. How will you like to be different in the business? Because every business must position itself to be different from others. You cannot just do copycat, copy paste and the rest. So if you look at a company like Apple do not differentiate themselves by saying they want to have every desktop should have a laptop like what Microsoft says. Apple says they want to produce something, then they can recommend to friends and family. Means that they want to produce something that they're really proud of, and they can recommend to any other person without any worry. So that's how they differentiate themselves. You know very well how much banks are differentiating themselves. You go to the supermarket, Nakumat will say, you need it if you got it. You can go to Tuskys will say, pay less for more every day. You will go to Naivas, who says, saves you money. So you must look different in the market you want to play. Then the last thing is about staging. If you look at staging, what we mean is here that companies come with a concept of a business. For example, Ford can come with a concept of a car. Or, for example, Chrysler can come with a concept for a car. But how long do you turn this concept into a product that can be commercialized? We know that in the corporate sector, companies come with ideas, but before the ideas see light of day, somebody can actually pick it and run with it. So what does that mean is that anytime you come up with a business concept, please, you must turn it around very fast, because not only you who is thinking, everybody is thinking, anybody is innovating. So the guy who will have the fast turnaround time will have what they call fast move advantages, and for that matter can actually capture the market. All these things, the bottom line is on corporate governance, because corporate governance makes all these things make sense. They're the ones who make all these key decisions, and in the end, if you don't have a good corporate governance, you can have a blockbuster product, you can have a blockbuster brand, you can have a blockbuster types of management, but if you don't have the right corporate governance, then things can just fall into part.